Once again, greetings. And so today is the first teaching of the refuge. So, so, so it is also the first practice of uncommon of visualization. Uh, and so this practice mainly is known to be refuge practice. And this is the main purpose of this this refuge is that so when a person begins in a journey of liberation, first they need to have belief to the liberation. So without having belief, faith towards liberation, then there is no point of taking refuge. So the refuge is based on belief, where we put ourselves forward towards liberation by in a way of where we put in action physically, mentally, where we surrender ourselves towards the protector. So refuge in here, firstly, we need to have strong belief, and without having proper belief, so it will be hard to mention that you are actually practicing refuge. So, and here, belief on what? Belief on liberation. And not only having belief towards liberation, but believing there's such liberation where it does exist because a person did got liberated from suffering or the samsara or the worldly life. So first we need to have strong belief that liberation do exist. So if we don't have strong trust in liberation, or like to say enlightenment, then doing, let's say, Mondo, accumulating merits, or whatever, doesn't make any purpose sense. Because there is a liberation, because there is such existence of where there is a state of mind where there's it is the beyond samsaric world, a person who achieves, and his journey becomes beyond samsaric reach. So in a way, that person is liberated from suffering, liberated from any kind of the worldly things. So that's why first we need to have strong refuge in a way of strong devotion. So the actual practicing refuge is actually practicing faith, unconditional and unchangeable faith. If one has and through proper, let's say, intention and motivation, then if we do a prostration, let's say once, it becomes full meaningful prostration, and it becomes part of accumulation merits. If we don't have belief towards enlightenment, on top not strong belief towards trust towards Buddha, Dharma, eventually Sangha, then like during prostration, phrases, and so onwards, it becomes just a form, but no essence. So in that way, the purpose of practicing refuge is to straighten or practicing our devotion and belief. So that is the main kind of foundation. So with that, we have to do with the actual, we to combine with the sadhana, the Kongtrul practice. And those who have this Kongtrul, let's say, text or book. So now I will be describing the how to visualize the Pure Land and the Lama and the Yidam and so forth. So mainly when we engage with the let's say Jamdo or prostration, we should understand the focus is not on the prostration, mainly is on motivating ourselves towards having a strong bond between the three jewels in a form of Lama. And that is the basic foundation. And that has to go through the physical act of prostration. And not only prostration from physically individual body, but from the speech, as we recite Balden Lama Dhamma Nara Jasusho, Yedam Jungur Jalasu Nara Jasusho, Sangi Chumde, and Dambichu, Popikinde, and all the Chujong Soma, which is the Lama, Yedam, and Buddha Dharma, and Sangha and Protector. So this is, we chant, accumulate from speech, accumulate prostration from the body, and mentally from the mind, we accumulate the devotion or the belief and trust towards the three jewels or the Lama. So that is the point. So when we do refuge, we are not only focusing towards physical or the mental, the speech, but actually the main is the mental. So if he wants to prostration physically in a perfect way, or to the speech, if the one's mind is not taking refuge and distracted, and which actually need to be calmed, without going through that from the mentally practice, but only during the speech and body, although it might appear of the refuge practice, but in fact, it will be just a form of the refuge practice. So it is very important where we have to also engage, which is the basic through mind training of taking refuge. So this is the very basic. If you do from an order, from a mind, and then speech and the physical, so that will be authentic refuge. Even you do once, you're actually doing Anmondra. When the mind is distracted, when the mind is impure, not having pure view, no having belief towards three jewels, and then harmony with to perfect speech recitation, physically prostration, then it becomes very hard to count as the mudra practice. Although it might appear as the mudra. So in the very beginning, we have to be aware that the mental counts. So in that way, so one should be aware what actually refuge means. So we will go to the commentary. Going for refuge. Page number 50.
Rinpoche, do you want me to read in English for you?
Yes. Yes.
Then you can just tell me when I shall stop.
Yeah.
Okay. The first of the four uncommon preliminaries is going for refuge, for the visualization. The place is a spacious and vast pure realm, whose ground yields when pressed, and springs back when released. In the middle of a lush green meadow, covered with abundant flowers, is a lake whose waters have the 8 qualities. The lake is filled with many divine birds, warbling with lovely calls. In the center of the lake is a wish-fulfilling tree made of precious jewels, and bowed down with leaves, fruit, and flowers made of precious jewels. Like a parasol, from a single trunk, 4 branches extend in the 4 directions, and a 5th extends up.
Yes.
At the center.
So till here, this is the visualization. So whenever kind of whatever or whenever when we engage with the practices, firstly, it's very important to generate ourselves towards bodhicitta, which is a mind for well-being for others. So we have to generate so that every action when we take, it becomes for the sake of others, which makes a meaningful time. So that is very important. It would be time to time helpful to recite it through our speech. If not, try to remember through our own mind that I'm doing a spiritual action for the benefit of all sentient beings. So in that way, first we have to motivate ourselves in that mind training. So the first commentary which was described is the visualization part. And in Kongtrul, we have common and uncommon. So the reason why the refuge and the Vajrasattva, mandala, and Guru Yoga is put it as uncommon is because it is part of Kirim the Zorim ke Rimbani le Temperes.
It's about the two stages, which are the generation phase and the perfection phase. It's talking about these two?
So it is based on mind training.
Oh, it's based
on two stages of mind training. So in that way, it becomes not a normal practice, not an ordinary practice. So one thing, what we should understand that whenever we visualize, or like let's say when we do visualization, especially Vajrayana visualization, 5 things should be note or be aware. So in Tibetan we call it nyepangade. So
the 5 certainties.
Yeah, the 5 certainties. And we so I will say in Tibetan with the 5. Ne nyepa.
Certainty about the place.
And ku nyepa.
Certainty about the form or the body.
And khor nyepa.
About certainty about the retinue, the surroundings.
And chu nyepa.
Certainty about the Dharma.
And du nyepa.
Or certainty about the time.
So these 5 certainties, the place and the form and the surrounding or the student and the Dharma and the time. So this 5 normally is always certain to us let's say, the historical Buddha. So his historical Buddha, let's say Shakyamuni, have this 5 settings because the place where the Buddha, let's say the enlightened one, is the place known as the holy place. Where the enlightened person is known to be holy. And the person, the enlightened person itself, or one could say the form, person or being, it is certain, so that that person gives the teachings. And there is an enlightenment, so there is a student or the surrounding student of the Buddha. If there is no student, there won't be a teacher. So the Buddha is teacher because he has a student. So in that way, student is very certain to have in the presence of enlightened being. And the Dharma. The Dharma or the doctrine should be certain. Otherwise, without the doctrine, there won't be a spiritual growth. So therefore, or the Dharma or the doctrine should be there. And the fifth, the time. When there's a disaster time, said even though the teaching won't be helpful, even the enlightened master is there. When there's a strong negative time where everything doesn't support to train our mind, so that time is not suitable. So, but the time of enlightened being, where there is a time, but the time where everything can be possible, where there's all necessary sorry, 주진 참아 표준 소비기 뒤.
All the time and the conditions. It's a time when all good conditions are gathered.
Gathered, so the Dharma can be spread. If there is no cause and condition to teach the Dharma, then the Dharma won't be able to flourish. Meaning flourish in the sense of being understood. So in that way, the 5 qualities, this 5 certainties always would be towards enlightened being. So it applies to the every visualization. So those 5 certainties normally are the qualities of Buddha, the enlightened one. So, of course, we Buddhists, we describe that we do have the Buddha nature. We can get enlightenment. So that will be in the future when we do engage with the Dharma, and with the process, we get enlightenment in the end. But in the Vajrayana, we try to transform those 5 certain qualities from right now at the right presence, right now. From the present moment, we try to visualize those 5 certain the qualities. For example, when we do visualize, let's say like JAMGON, when we visualize our land as pure land, the place. And then we visualize ourselves as a form of enlightenment, of change. Second. And then the Dharma. We visualize Dharma in the form of mantra, as speech. And we visualize all the surrounding beings as the disciple or the follower of the Chinese, where they take refuge under the Chinese. And then the time. We visualize the time being auspicious because of the presence of Chinese. So this applies the 5 certain, which is very important, applies to everything. So here, now we applying the place, so that when we do refuge practice, we have to visualize the land of our presence. So normally when we do refuge through prostration, we normally somehow put the refuge tree in front of us to remember. But in fact, first we have to visualize the 5, how to say, certain in our mind. So the first is the place. So we have to visualize, according to the commentary, as the pure land where the refuge tree exists. Where in here the land is described as heavily realm, and the lake, and there is the 5 qualities of 8 or 5, 8 qualities of the water. So the first is, when we talk about 8 qualities, first is the coolness of the water, and second is the sweetness of the water, and then the lightness of the water, and then softness of the water, and then clearness, and free from impurities, which is 6. And the 7 is, when we drink, it doesn't harm. And the 8, which brings leisure or being satisfying. So those are the 8, which means the lake, the water quality. So in that way, if we are visualizing all the impurities of our surrounding, the place to the purity of suchness. So this is the first kind of visualization. So we have to remember that when we visualize, the 5 certain should be there always. So it would be nice if one can help me to make a note for the 5. So the first is the place. So then we go through the next, which is the center of the branch tree.
At the center of the middle branch is a jeweled throne supported by 8 lions and covered with priceless cloths made of divine fabrics. On top of this is a 1,000-petaled lotus and full moon seed. In the middle of this sits Vajradhara, your root guru in essence, who is deep blue like the autumn sky. He has 1 face and 2 arms. His hands are crossed at his heart. His right holds a golden vajra, and his left a silver bell. His gaze is peaceful. He is replete with the 13 peaceful ornaments, a diadem, earrings, and so forth. His upper garment is made of multicolored silk, and he wears a red lower garment. He is seated in the Vajra posture, and his body, adorned with the marks and signs, glows brilliantly. He regards you with great joy.
With this, can you able to show the refuge tree, the normally we visualize the refuge?
Yes, Rinpoche. Yes.
The general one.
Yes. Yes, coming.
So it would be nice those who haven't trained to visualize, first try to visualize the Pure Land by step by step. So try to see your surrounding, our surrounding, even though it do look impure, but try to visualize the land as it is pure. So now you can refocus the land and so forth.
Yes. I have to. I prepare everything except this one. I'm sorry.
So firstly, the land we have to visualize one by one. Try to visualize as like in your own suitable way. So then the second is the form, the certain form. So here now we are visualizing the form we visualizing the form of the mainly we're taking refuge here towards the three jewels in a form of Vajradhara, in step with the essence of our root master. So here we do so this actually the root Lama, the Vajradhara, is the second certain, which is the form, the actual enlightened. So can you show the realm first? So the lower place, so this, if I describe this painting, so the land where every a normal being is standing, it is represent the land of our existing land. So we have to train our mind to that. And then now the second stage where we have to visualize, which is the form of enlightened being. So in here, the enlightened being is the Vajradhara. So the Vajradhara is coming or sitting on top of the tree, which is actually coming out of the lake. So in the middle of the lake, there is a tree, not a just ordinary tree, a very beautiful tree, ornamented with the many jewels and fruits and all the beautiful, whatever can imagine, with many jewels and ornaments is ornamented to a tree. And the tree has 5 petals or 5 branch, let's say 5 branch of the tree. So in one root of the tree, there's a 5 branch. One is being in the center, one is being behind, one is in the front, one is right, and one is in left. Can you show the picture so those who doesn't understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is very important to visualize step by step, because now it's okay because we are all beginner. And in the beginning, it won't be perfect, but it's okay to visualize. So too many visualization won't be perfect for the beginners. So in that way, from the place, the land, we have to visualize. That would be so here we have a lake, and there's one tree coming out of the lake. So here we have a like image, kind of small limited lake, but imagine a very beautiful big lake in front of you. And the lake, the water has the 8 qualities. And it is not impure water. Everything exists in that pure land is beautiful and pure beyond impurities. So in the middle of that, there's a tree, a large tree growing. We call it Balsam Juanxing, a tree which can be wish fulfilling, a tree that what kind of you wish, it will fulfill. So that kind of a magical or wish fulfilling tree visualize. And the tree with the leaves is ornamented with such beautiful jewels and pearls and so whatsoever. So in the center of the branch, the main one. So can you go back to the first refuge tree? So on the first, which is the center, we visualize the Vajradhara. So here in the commentary, it is said the Vajradhara is sitting on top of throne supported by 8 lines. So you can see snow line, which is the Tibetan version of the lion. And you can see there's 2, one on the right, one is on the left. So imagine there's a throne like a square. So in front, right, one line. On the left, there's another line. So on the other direction, from the 4th direction, each has a line which is supporting one. So actually, in Vajrayana, we do have explanation on each and every throne. For example, we have 5 Buddha, 5 family Buddha. Akshobhaya, Virajana, Ranasambhava, Amoghasiddhi, Amitabha, and so forth. So each Buddha has its own throne, and each throne has its own symbolic animal. Here we have a lion, and some have peacock, and some have like Garuda, and so forth. They are each representative animal, which actually represents the quality of the Buddha. So in a way, we have the line in here. On top, we have the petal, which is the bhumi. We can see which is Vajradhara is sitting on top of. Mhm. Um, so, so the normally lotus represents the bhumis of the Bodhisattva. So the one who accomplish all the Bodhisattva stage. So this is the bhumi flower, where that represents he has accomplished all the process of the realization. And the Vajra, so it is sitting on top of the moon. Sometimes we have sun and moon. So sun sometimes we visualize as wrathful, and the moon as peaceful. So here we visualize peaceful. On top of moon, now we have the Vajradhara. So the Vajradhara is an actual manifestation of the Mahamudra, or the Vajradhara is an actual form of our enlightenment. So we have the color, let's say, blue, like an autumn sky. So that kind of represents as the sky. So the sky is one way of example of introducing our nature of mind, because it does exist, but in the same way, it is empty by itself. We can't finger or point out where's the sky. And in a way, we cannot take the sky or throw the sky. So in a way, the sky represents as an example of introducing the mind. So we have the form in the blue color representing that example. And it has Vajradhara holding bell and dorje with a cross. The bell signifies wisdom, and the dorje represent the method or the phenomena. The phenomena essence is the wisdom. So the phenomena and its essence as selflessness is always inseparable. So in that way, the Vajradhara crossed his two arms. So which means that the nature of the mind and the essence of being selflessness is always one as a union. So in that way, we have the cross arm of this symbolic sign. So the form, which is not a monk form, this is the form of Sambhogakaya. So Vajradhara is in the form of Sambhogakaya. So the Sambhogakaya is the qualities of the such stage of enlightenment. So we mainly focus on that. So we visualize Vajradhara mainly towards the Vajradhara, inseparable or in the essence as the Guru with our root Guru. So it is important to visualize Vajradhara for beginners, because it has no impurities. The true nature of the mind has no impurities. It is beyond fault and mistake. So in that way, there is no obstacles by visualizing the Vajradhara mainly as the root or visualization of the refuge tree. And it is said that one who is not much familiar of how to approach with the perfect master or the unmistaken master. So when they approach with a certain kind of master and they visualize the master as a Vajradhara directly as the master, so when we actually made a mistake of not, how to say, finding the unmistaken master, let's say, with the mistaken teacher. When we visualize a person who we believe to be a upgrade, enlightened, realized. So then, when we see impurities one by one, day by day, month or year, then we start to lose our devotion, our faith. And in that way, we already, how to say, visualized in a very wrong way. So that it is very important for us to, when we actually engage with the tantric visualization, we better not to just imagine anyone directly, unless you have unshivering kind of strong devotion. So when you have seen falls of the guru, when the guru is not being authentic, and like this, then in the end, the basic foundation won't be pure, and then the let's say the creation state of visualization and the dissolving state of visualization, the two stages of it becomes unpure. So then Vajrayana practice itself becomes unpure. So in that way, it is very important not to visualize any ordinary person as the Vajradhara. So here, in a general way, we have to visualize directly as Vajradhara because there's no force to see one visualize the Vajradhara. So we have this form. And those who have strong, let's say, devotion and already seen the teacher as your refuge, then it's okay. Visualize the Vajradhara essence of your master. Then not only your practice will increase, but the person, the second one, within the 5 certain, the second certain is the formic certain. The enlightened being certain becomes authentic. So it is very okay to visualize more. So, so in the middle of the branch, we visualize the Lama Dorjichang, inseparable with our root master, being in the essence. If one can able to visualize the Vajradhara inseparable with the Lama, then it's okay to visualize Vajradhara instead of Lama. Or you can directly visualize Lama, but unless in a general way, the order way of our lineages, for every kind of practitioner, Vajradhara is suitable. So we visualize Vajradhara. And so this main person becomes our objective thing where we take refuge towards. So this is the main being we take refuge. So then we go to the second, which is above the Vajradhara commentary.
In a column above the crown of Vajradhara's head, in ascending order, are Pema Nyingje Wangpo, Mipam Chudrup Gyatso, Dudul Dorje, Chuki Jungme, Changchup Dorje, Chuki Dondrup, Yeshe Dorje, Yeshe Ningpo, Chuying Dorje, Chuki Wangchup, Wangchuk Dorje, Kansho Yenla, Mikyo Dorje, Sangye Nyenpa, Choda Gyamso, Paljo Dondrup, Jamper Zangpo, Tongwa Denden, Rikpe Ralri, Leshin Shekpa, Kachu Wangpo, Rolpe Dorje, Yongten Dorje Pal, Rangjung Dorje, Ogyen Rinpoche Pal, Drupchen Bakchi, Pomdrak Sonan Dorje, Drogen Rechen Sangye Brak, Tushum Kempa, the Peerless Gampopa, Chitin Mila, Marpa the Translator, Metripa, Shawari, Noble Nagarjuna, Saraha, Lodro Rinchen, and Vajradhara. In the space surrounding them, amassed like clouds, are the 6 ornaments of this world. Rinpoche, we can't hear you. Oh, I'm not here.
Rinpoche, we cannot hear you.
Till here, can you hear?
Yes, yes, very good.
So now, to make more blissful, we visualize the lineage guru, particular the Mahamuda lineage master. So since this commentary was written down by the first Jamgon Kongtrul Lodro Thaye, so his good teacher is Siddhapema Nyingje Wangpo. So when he composed this commentary, during that time, the 14th Karmapa, I think he was still alive. I'm not very much very strong, but I think it was during his life because it was composed during the age of 21 or 23 of Lodro Thaye. So, so this was the time where he have shown Siddhapema Nyingje Wangpo as his teacher, as root master. So the Vajradhara for him is being inseparable with Siddhapema Nyingje. And on top of so from the Lama Dorje Shang, we visualize the lineage of the Mahamudra. So his master Pema Nyingje Wangpo being above of Dorje Shang, like floating on the sky, and on top above his form, there is floating his root master Mebam Chudrup Gyatso. Above him, his root guru, the 13th Karmapa Dudul Dorje, and then his root master Siddhu Chuji Chone, and above his master Jangchu Dorje. And like this, all the lineage master being one above one one above one. So till it reaches the root master Bodhicitta. So the written one is the according to their teach. So in this picture, couldn't be able to fit everything, so we put it in here like surrounding, but it's normally when we visualize it's being one above one, one above one, mostly like floating up above the tree. And so it becomes his disciple, one's disciple, till one's root master, and in the center of the branch, seeing your true master in the form of Bodhicitta. So this is the way, the main lineage master as visualizing this. And so we have this kind of visualization, and also like we also call it like an egg visualization, a form of egg, where you visualize all the root master of each enlightened lineage surrounding like a above. So this is one way, but for the refuge, it is said it is more suitable to visualize being one above one, which we call it toxic gimmickrim, or like order visualization. So can you show one picture? Yes. So you can see by one, one by one. So this is the way. Yeah. So can you show me the this is the order line of visualization. So so then on the also we can reach so in here Tilopa, Naropa being on the side on the clouds with the 6 elements. And so for like the lineage, different lineage, just being you can see above, we have the different lineages, Kadam lineages, Dukung, Taglong, and so we can see above on the 2 sides. So those are all the lineage master of different. So when we, so it means that you're not taking refuge to just specific casually enlightened master, but you are actually taking refuge to the enlightened beings exist in every 10 direction and the 3 times. So mainly our lineage, which is on the root, but also including the different lineages. So we just being on the surrounding. So this is the way. So try to visualize like this. After visualizing the land, then try to focus on more on the middle branch, Laman Dorjishang, and then slowly the root master. So the order of the lama is so many that sometimes it becomes unclear. So just think that imagine there's a root lamas of the lineage, and just have like mupa
Aspiration. You
aspiration.
aspire or you wish. Make
Just
declaration.
yeah. So just think that there is all the lamas being there. And also the other Vajrayana lineage master of different schools, whether it's Tibetan or other lineage from a different school, any kind of visualize on that. So if the line is so difficult, then you can visualize Dojichang, and then Tilo, and then Naro, Marpa, Mela, Kambupa, Trisam, Kempa. So if that is, because those are limited number, and if you are very much aware, so because these three are the root of Kaju, so this is also can do in that way.
So I continue? So what you just explained, in the space surrounding them, amassed like clouds, are the 6 ornaments of this world, Tilopa, Naropa, and the learned and accomplished gurus from India and Tibet, such as the Drikung, Drukpa, Salpa, and Taklo lineages, and so forth. On the eastern branch, on Lotus, Sun, and Corpse Seed, is Vajravari, surrounded by hosts of Yedam deities of the 4 or 6 classes of Tantra, Chakrasambhara, Hevajra, and Grihasamaja, Mahamaya, Buddha Kapala, and Vajra Chatushpita, Krishna Yamari, Shan Mukha, and Vajra Bhairava, as well as Kalachakra and so forth.
So till here, the front branch. Can you show the refuge tree? So first, try to visualize this, the lama on the center, and try to make some time for that to have a stable, like visualization, like being alive in front of you. Then visualize all the lineage master. Then when you become more stable on that, so first, then on the front branch of the tree. So this is the branch of the yidam. So in here, in the picture, there are numerous different type of yidams, which is based on the Vajrayana and these schools. Or class. So we have well known as 4 class. In Tibetan we call it Jaju, Juju, Namjuju, Namjulami, Giju. So can you?
Can you repeat what you said?
Jaju.
Oh yeah, the 4 class: Kriya, Charya, Yoga, and Niruttara Yoga Tantra.
So mainly the one we see here on the lower, where we see Varahe as Vajra Yogini, and in there we have Chakrasambhara, Gyantso, the regenerative, and Yidam. And also we have the white dara, which is coming from I think Naljurju.
Yoga Tantra.
Yoga Tantra, and so forth. So this all deity coming from the 4 classes. Well known 4 classes in Kamakachu, but we also have 6 classes. So every deity which is here coming from the Tantra class or the doctrine. So those are the deity which is appearing from the class of the Tantric text. So basically, we visualize the deity on the front branch of the tree. So, as we say, the three main deity of the Kamakaju is known to be Amo, Temjo, Gyalgyanso. So one can able visualize that. Or if it is very difficult, then just visualize mainly towards Toji Pamo, which is what I towards and that. But basically, what we have to be aware that on the front branch, which is known to be the branch for the deity, just think that all the deities is there, and it is Matangba Meba.
No, only missing.
And not deity is missing.
Complete.
It's completed with even the deity is not missing. So just like have that kind of thinking on the front. So we continue.
On the right branch, on a lion throne, lotus, and moonseed, is our teacher Shakyamuni, surrounded by the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon, and all the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 times.
So in with here history. So on the one could say the right of the Vajradhara, there is the main. This is the branch tree for enlightened being, an actual being, and mainly historical enlightened being. And so we can mainly focus in the center of this branch tree, the historical Buddha Shakyamuni, who have shown the Nimanakaya form, who have taken birth in Lumbini and got enlightened in Bodh Gaya, taught the first wheel of Dharma in Varanasi, and after completing his all activities for the other, he passed away in Kushinagar. And it not only are just enlightened being, but it is historically a life which is shown as an example how to be enlightened and the purpose of enlightenment and the benefit of being enlightened. So his is an actual, a complete example of being enlightened. So in that way, it is known to be historical because he discovered the Dharma where people didn't discover yet. So that's, in a way, he become historical. When there is already flourishing Dharma, if he discovered, it become rediscovered and not become discovered. So the historical Buddha is mostly known the Buddha who discovered for the first time for all sentient beings. So like this, we visualize the 3 times of Buddha. So in that, which has numerous enlightened beings, numerous historical Buddha in the past. We have so many numbers and so many countless of eons. And of course, all the 3 times of historical Buddha we visualize on the right branch of the tree. So after, when you are more stable on the front and the center and the lineage and the land, then focus on the right branch. And then we continue.
On the rear branch are the 12 types of scriptures of the true Dharma, in particular the Mahayana Sutras and the Tantras of the Secret Mantra. in the form of volumes with golden labels pointing toward you, murmuring with the natural sound of the Ali and Kali.
So the branch tree which is behind uh, the Vajradhara. So you can see there's like a palace. One can see with a kind of palace behind the tree on the side. That is actually a library kind of palace. A place on that tree, there's a numerous doctrine, scripture of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. A doctrine that helps by reading to get enlightenment, by reading getting wisdom. So the doctrine, mainly the Mahamudra doctrine, the Panchaparamita doctrine. So we visualize this represents the speech or the Dharma in the form of scripture. So that is the doctrine text. So we visualize this behind of the battle, the branch tree, and the actual teachings on the speech, where with the air in the mouth, with the tongue, with functioning, we have the word and the language. Through that, the sound starts. Through the sound, we, as a being, we create like language to understand the sound. So we human actually we have like more than 100 languages in this world. Of course, each language is not the same with another. Each language has different movement. So we people created different languages through our own cause and condition. So in that way, mainly the form of the speech is a creation of of ours. The languages and this it's the creation. So in a way, the Dharma in the being of the form is our creation. So Dharma in the scripture doesn't have to be only in Tibetan. The only Tibetan scripture is Dharma, no, but also what kind of language shows the enlightened path, that is the Dharma scripture. So mainly when we say Dharma, it refers to something like a speech, a communication. So the word, now it use Alikali. Alikali is mainly known to be in Tibetan as Yangsal.
The vowels and the consonants.
The vowels and consonants. So to have this, you have to have a voice. So from that text, try to imagine a sound of vowel and the kasor yangsal den so guitar doshi target on chugu episode or chiku
By using the vowels and the consonants, that's how you are creating sounds and words? I'm not sure I understood what you
the
said.
doctrine of the Dharma. Just imagine to the text which is behind, like in the library, in a palace, and through the scripture of the text, you try to visualize that there's a sound is coming, which like a general sound which we use is like alikali, which means like the sound of the human creation, like a wow and so forth. So like a sound is coming, which is somehow a manifestation which will manifest in a different languages, different scripture. So in that way, so on the behind the Vajradhara, we visualize this kind of the scripture, the Dharma doctrine text.
On the left branch are the sanghas of the foundation and greater vehicles, countless bodhisattvas, arhats, and pratyeka Buddhas, including the 3 lords of the families and the rest of the 8 close sons, the bodhisattvas of the fortunate eon, the excellent pair, Ananda, the 16 arhats, and so forth.
So now we visualize the left branch of the Vajradhara. We visualize the Sangha. So in the Sangha, the Sangha word is called as like the gathering of being. So here we have 2 different in our Buddhist, especially in Mahayana. So we believe there's 2 different types of Sangha. The Sangha, the Mahayana Sangha, and the lower vehicle Sangha. So in the lower vehicle tradition, when it says Sangha, it's known to be it should be gathering people, numbers of monks getting together. So a monk community is known to be Sangha. But so that represents the Buddha. The monk community represents the replacement of the Buddha when there is no Buddha. So the monks community represents the Buddha. But in Vajrayana, so the monk thing mainly comes from discipline, vow, which is mainly focused on the physical practice. So in Mahayana, we do believe the actual representative of the Buddha are the bodhisattvas. For the bodhisattva, their main kind of mission is to help for other beings through teaching the Dharma, getting enlightenment, and helping in many ways. So in that way, they come in the form of monk and sometimes lay people, and numerous they take form. So, but their mind actually represents the region of the Buddha, because the Buddha wish to liberate all sentient beings from the suffering. Through that, he's giving wisdom, and not only wisdom, but also in act of teaching, selflessness teaching, and so forth. And the Bodhisattva does that for the beings. So the Bodhisattva fulfilled that wishes. So in that way, in Mahayana, we do believe the actual Sangha is the one, the Bodhisattva. So in here, we have generic, and also we can see the 8 Bodhisattva, so which is not in the monk's form. So that means their activity is like unpredictable, because they manifest in any form in order to help sentient beings. So they come in a Sambhuvakaya form. So those are the 8 Bodhisattvas. And we also there's also the 2 monks form, which actually represents the lower vehicle Sangha. So anyway, in the left branch of the tree, we visualize all the Sangha, whether Mahayana or the lower vehicle, all the Sangha being not missed, being there on the left branch. Then we continue.
In the space below the branches are, principally, Dorje Bernakchen, Palden Lamo, four-armed Mahakala, and six-armed Mahakala, among an inconceivable number of the wisdom protectors, heroes, dakinis, and so forth.
So now we visualize that on the so those are the five petal we already gone, and at the lower of the tree, which is on the root, can you show the picture of the refuge tree? On the lower root, which is appearing from the lake. So now we have the protector. Here we have numerous protector from many different schools of tantric, but here the Benakchen is in the center, which represents the actual protector of the Kamakayu, and we have the six arm and white Mahakala, Palden Lama, Dusuma, Chashipa, the forearm, and numerous Mahakala. So where they are being protective of the three roots and the three jewels. So now, with that, we already complete the second visualization where we say about a certain of being, certain form or certain being. So this is the one of the quality we should visualize. So we already have the three jewels, Buddha on the right, Dharma on back, and the Sangha on the left. And we also have three roots, Lama, which is on the center, Yidam, which is on the front, and Shujong, which is below, which is the protector. And also the Kando is meant to be the deities or the tantric, also known as like the power. So those are the female and male practitioner of the Tantra known as Pawon and Pamo, which is known to be the Kando. So in here we have the kind of the three roots and three jewels already. So we have the perfect being to be taken refuge.
You are on the ground, in front of the sources of refuge, with your own father to your right and your own mother to your left, the foremost among all sentient beings who feel the riches of space. In particular, they are the enemies who hate you, harmful obstructive spirits, beings with whom you have had feuds and karmic debts from beginningless time, tormented ghosts, dun, and Buddha gathered in throngs. Think that you as their leader, all of them with you as their leader, all of them pay respect with their bodies by joining their palms, respect with their minds through faith and longing, and respect with their speech.
Till here, we already so now here we are representing so we and the surrounding. Can you show the refuge tree? So it will be much easier to understand. So we, as five certain, the place and the enlightened being. So the third is being the student who is following the master. So it includes mainly you, oneself, as being the disciple. So can you go a little bit lower of the picture? And here we have the being including oneself on the right and left, the father and mother, friends, enemy. So those all who has uh, the all existing beings who have an enlightened, we visualize those in front of the refuge tree, surrounded. And also from many different realms, we visualize them being in front of. And in that way, it shows the touch, certain of being follower, having follower. So, and then the fourth, the teachings, of course, the teachings in this way will be taking refuge. The practice or the teaching of Dharma here is engaging with the devotion to the three roots, three jewels. So this is the Dharma as the fourth certain. The fifth certain that you have the time to practice the Dharma. So here we got the five qualities already in our time. So taking that advantage, now we are with the generating Bodhicitta in a way of behalf of all sentient beings. I am representing them. I will take refuge to the three jewels and three roots with the respect and through faith. Then we recite that I take refuge to the Lama, and I will take refuge to the Yidam, and Buddha, and Dharma, and Sangha, and all the protector with the Tsawasum, three roots, and three jewels. So we accumulate that. And through the mind, we take refuge, we surrender ourselves as taking those as our protector and having faith towards them. And with the mental respect and devotion, with the speech accumulating the praises and recitation, and from the physical body, prostration. So I think in the very beginning it will be better. Take time and first visualize the land, and then focus on the tree by order, the main branch and the order. Then the front branch and the right, back, and behind. So try to visualize this one by one. And then try to, when you have stable visualization, then go through with the taking refuge. And during the visualization, three things we should be aware, which is clarity. The form of visualization should be clear. It should not be confusion. And the second part is not only being clear, having visualizing, but it should be stable. And the fourth, pure view. So these three are very important during the creation state. So try to make that note, and when you do prostration, reciting the refuge, and most importantly, the visualization are the most important part. And when you do so, try to see if there's a clarity, yes or no. And then second part is whether you can be more stable with that visualizing or not. And then can you able to have the pure view on that or not. So these three are very important. So while you're doing the refuge practice, you should be aware with these three main key points while you do refuge. So these are very important. And then, so according to our tradition, we have to accumulate like 100,000 prostration recitation along with, and also because those are something that physical countable, and the mind is not very much visible, so we cannot able to see. So in that way, it's like 100,000 of accumulation, which normally if you do, it will take like 2 months. So normally refuge is around 2 months time with the prostration. So try to do that visualization slowly, and try engaging with each session with that. And when you done repeating this refuge, then before dissolving, so try to take the Bodhisattva vow through these three roots. Since it is there, try to take a refuge. Bodhisattva vow and generate bodhicitta by repeating 3 times the actual line which is coming from the I think Bodhisattva Saya Avatara, Shandideva way of Bodhisattva life. So we take this as generating the bodhicitta. So we have to take this on every session before ending the refuge. So we take, and then we dissolve the refuge tree. So in here, you can continue.
Think that you as their leader, all of them with you as their leader, all of them pay respect with their bodies by joining their palms, respect with their minds through faith and longing, and respect with their speech by reciting the refuge prayer in a sonorous rumble. Imagining this, recite the refuge prayer 1,000 times, without your mind wandering elsewhere, and while contemplating the meaning of the words. At the end, give rise to bodhicitta. Then, the sources of refuge, along with their seats, thrones, and so forth, melt into light and dissolve into you. Think that their bodies, speech, and minds become inseparable from your body, speech, and mind, and let your mind rest naturally. Dedicate the merit.
So this is mainly the sadhana of the mantra. So can you show me the picture of the refuge tree? So, so first, in here, we the one we visualize the protector, which is below the tree, which is on the root of the tree, protecting the refuge tree. So the way how you dissolve is that first, all the lineage master of the Mahamudra, which is above the Vajradhara, one by one above one. So we visualize from the Vajradhara 1 to 1 down, dissolving 1 to 1 Vajradhara to the one who is on the lineage above. So like dissolving that to one's disciple, one disciple, one disciple, until it comes to the root master, and that dissolved to the Vajradhara, which is on the center tree. And then from the left Sangha, dissolving one by one towards the main Vajradhara. And the doctrine dissolves towards the Vajradhara. And then the right, the enlightened historical Buddha dissolves to the Vajradhara. Then the deity which is in the front dissolves to the Vajradhara. And then slowly, the Idam and protector dissolving to, and also the site of the lineage master dissolved to the Vajradhara. And then the rest of the all sentient beings, not including you, but all the rest dissolving towards the Vajradhara. And then all the land dissolves to the Vajradhara. And then the Vajradhara, in the end, the Vajradhara slowly dissolve to you, coming from your center, and slowly receiving the body empowerment. When it comes to the speech, and receiving the speech empowerment, and dissolve to your heart, and receiving the mind empowerment. And then you can dedicate and do dedication. So it's more towards selflessness. So you have built everything, now you have to dissolve, so it becomes selflessness, more towards emptiness. So in the end, one can do dissolve and leave, and if you want to dissolve, you can dissolve. So mainly here, the refuge to dissolve to here, that is the main part. So till here, when there's a refuge, you take the refuge, prostration, and so forth. And when you do so, so when you stand up and with your two hands plumped together, and the first is on your center of the head, represent a body taking prostration. The second in here on the throat area, representing your speech, and come towards your heart, near at the chest as the body. I mean the mind, body, speech, and mind. And then the last is two hands and two feet touching down, and including your forehead. And normally this is so normally when we do accumulate, we do a full prostration, which means we lay down our body fully and put the hand above. And so that means taking refuge, or this means the few respect, because normally the head, it represents your ego in the worldly life way, because the ego mainly we cling ourselves through our upper body. So in that way, when you touch down your forehead or the head, bow down to someone, it's not just showing our respect, but huge respect. In that way, that shows, let's say, offering. A prostration is a way of surrendering or offering your body, or paying a huge respect. When you say respect, you are showing the gratitude, offering your gratitude to someone. So in that way, you offer your physical form in a way of respect to the Lama, so that the five Lapa ni takang ko che ni thapa de ni ngati thang tu bures.
With the two hands and the two knees, it's and the forehead, it's 5 points. That then you put all of that on the floor.
So those are the ones. So I think we will stop here. And so when you do practice Mundro, first do with the visualization, and when you can't able to keep up like the visualization because of a mental tiredness and so forth, then try to have an image of the refuge tree, tanga, whatever, which can represent the refuge tree in front of you, and take and do the prostration while you do. So, so from now onwards, since we have started the Mondro from Refuge, we will always recite Mondro starting from the full mind training to the Refuge every time. So you can go along with that. And those who are doing Mondro, so it would be nice to don't rush it immediately and start counting the prostration, because the original or the actual way of doing Mondro is not about accumulating the prostration number. It's more about taking the refuge actually. So we have to, if one can do proper one refuge, is equal to thousands of unproper prostration. So I think the one proper will be more meaningful than doing distracted prostration. So I would recommend it to take time and do visualization. Since this is part of Tantra, which involves two stages of creation state and dissolving state, so we have to focus not to forget that we are visualizing. So that makes tantric practice. So try to remember that, and so we will stop here.
Sambo Joy,